What's up, everyone? It's Zack Miller and your favorite time of day, Zack Miller Live, where I bring to you the most original content you will ever consume in the world, not just where you're listening to it. Hope you guys had wonderful weekends. I think this is episode 80-ish of the show. Maybe I'll stop labeling each of them so that I don't look like a donkey when I forget which episode it is, inevitably, each and every episode, like I do. But I think that gives it a little bit of character. That gives it a little bit of fun, a little bit of spunk, a little bit of excitement. What do you guys think? Also, I'm wearing a white shirt, which is pretty different than normal. Maybe I'll switch from the black shirt to the white shirt. Probably not. I think I look better in black. Anyway, so as you can see, sharing or patience. I was talking with my sister, Vicky, recently, and she was telling me something about her daughter and something that they are trying to teach her. She, I believe, is 3 now. Not my sister, her daughter, my niece, who, by the way, I always forget. All right, do you guys have these problems where like you forget like uncle, niece, nephew, whatever, third patient of the whatever? I don't know why, but it's a difficult thing for me. So she has a 3-year-old daughter, and I think this really was interesting to me because I think a lot of us now later in life could probably implement some of the stuff that she was trying to teach her daughter. So she's at, I guess, a playground or like daycare with kids. We're talking about my sister who has a 3-year-old daughter, and she's trying to teach her this concept that I think is really interesting. So you've heard the thing, sharing is caring, or, just share with others. And, on the surface, it seems to make sense. And I think we grow up and it does make sense. You're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But is sharing really, should we just share things with everyone? Should we just say, oh, here's my toy, I should share this with you? Well, why should I share this with someone? Why can't they just wait until I'm done with it? Now, then she told me this other scenario about how she went to the movie theaters. Now, I haven't been to a movie in a long time. Now, apparently you pick your seat when you go to a movie theater. Like, beforehand. Like, you're going to sit in, like, row 14-7 or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. Hey, Kim. Hey, Glenn. Hope you guys are doing well. Talking about sharing versus patience. And the concept came up from my sister, who is trying to teach her daughter this whole thing, where I guess someone was like, oh, let me play with that toy. And they're like, oh, yeah, share with that toy. And it's like, well, why can't you just teach your kid, hey, wait a little bit longer when that person's done with it? So then my sister tells me the story about how she's at the movie theater. And they pick these seats. And I guess there are specific seats that they really like. And someone comes in super late, and they have a group of, I don't know what the exact number is, so I'm going to enhance the story a little bit. Let's say there's 4 people. There's only 3 seats available. They ask my sister to move down 1. Now think about this. My sister was early, on time, had a plan, and achieved what she wanted to. Then someone who was late, not on time, and maybe inconsiderate said, hey, can you share this with me? Can you give this to me? Even though I'm probably in the wrong? And it got me thinking. I was like, that's really interesting. So someone, I don't know what my sister did in this case, right? It doesn't matter. But let's say my sister says no. That group of people are going to be like, you're totally a bitch for doing that. Why can't you just move down? When really, if you think about it, my sister should be like, no, this is the seat that I want to sit in. Now, this is before they had seats that were assigned. She got there on time and was asked to inconvenience herself, even though she was in the right. And so it got me thinking as she told me these 2 stories. They're very much the same, right? So, like, why should I share with you? I did everything I was supposed to do. You're in the wrong. You should have to be in that inconvenience lifestyle for a little bit. Then you have the other side of it where her daughter is at daycare or just playing, and they're playing with the toy. It doesn't matter what the toy is. And they're like, oh, why don't you just share that toy with someone? Well, why are we saying that sharing is this thing, right? Instead, I really think we should be focusing on, as she says it, and I'm thankful for this, patience. Why can't that kid wait 3 more minutes to play with that toy? Right? Same thing goes for adults. Patience, especially in business, especially in life, is so important. Right? If we're constantly going after what we want, we have to be patient in that game. Right? You hear me talk about this all the time. You guys might see me all the time in these little like short wins, but I'm playing a very, very, very long game. I'm very, very patient. And if we go back to the scenario that I've been talking about, which is my sister has a 3-year-old daughter, and people are telling her, you need to teach your kid how to share. And she says, no, my kid needs to learn how to be patient and wait her turn. Right? We do it when we're at amusement parks. We wait in line. Right? It might be annoying that we have to do it, but we learn that patience. And then when we finally get there, that anticipation builds up and it's so much better. We get to ride the ride. Right? So that patience is so important. And then on the opposite side with the movie theater, it's so powerful where someone who was on time and got to choose her seat correctly in the spot that she wanted was then asked to be inconvenienced to herself because someone else decided that they couldn't be there on time for whatever reason. Now, you hear me talk about, holding the door for people and everything else. And I believe that 100%. But sometimes we should put our foot in the ground and not necessarily just let someone step all over us. And I think that's where this whole piece is, where it's really like, okay, sharing versus patience. And if we get somewhere and we want to sit in the seat that we want to, why should we have to give that up to someone else who was a little late? I don't think we should. I think actually you should keep that seat and tell that person no. But most people are too afraid to say no. Yeah, you know what? Sure, you know what? This isn't really the seat that I wanted anyway. Let me move down a couple seats so that you, who are late and are inconveniencing me, can have the seat of your choice. No. One of my favorite things, I don't do New Year's resolutions, but in 2013 I did, and it was to learn how to say no. And I really, really, really want to instill this on you guys because it's really important. Saying no is powerful, and you will feel better about it later. Because what will happen is, if you say no, you get to keep that seat. If you say yes, you lost your seat. So someone who doesn't deserve it, who just asked for it, but you did everything right to be there. So you probably go through these scenarios a lot. Empower yourself to say no so that you can get something as simple as a movie seat, the one that you want, and not give it up to someone who doesn't, lightly saying this, deserve it. But all too often, we get walked over and we don't get the result that we want. We get inconvenienced. So, kind of 2 stories there, both from inspired by my sister and telling the stories of my sister. But they're so important, right? Let's learn patience, people, right? It's important. And then on the opposite end, don't let people walk all over you. Put your foot down and get the results that you want. Because in the end, your life will be better because of it. Have a great day.